This is the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, the Leica Edition. It's a smartphone that has a camera developed in collaboration with the German company Leica. What makes this Xiaomi unique? What are its strengths and weaknesses in terms of photo and video quality? And is it worth paying extra for this special edition of the 17 Ultra? Let's figure it out. Hey friends, this video was translated using AI, so the sound quality isn't the best. If you prefer watching the original video, just follow the link in the description. Let's talk about photography. After all, the Xiaomi Leica Edition is primarily a photographic flagship. It's no coincidence that they have a collaboration with a renowned camera manufacturer. So, what's unique about it? The Xiaomi 17 Ultra Leica Edition stands out right from the box. You immediately see the Leica logo on it, and the box itself is larger than the one for the regular 17 Ultra, and that's because this edition comes with a richer package. Inside, you'll find not only the smartphone itself, along with a 100-watt charger, a cable, and a SIM card ejector tool, but also a unique branded case with a rotating bezel. There's also a camera module cover, a sturdy strap, and a lens cleaning cloth. It's quite a comprehensive set. Now let's talk about the smartphone itself. It stands out primarily due to the master zoom ring. This is a rotating bezel around the main camera module, which is not only responsible for zooming but also allows you to control the bokeh and filters. In Pro mode, you can adjust the exposure, ISO, shutter speed, white balance, and other parameters. So it's a truly functional tool, not just a decorative element. However, this design choice is more about aesthetics than about practical benefits. And that's why the proprietary case features a rotating ring. The second distinctive feature of this flagship is the set of Leica Essential presets. These include emulations of the Leica M3 and M9 cameras, the classic 3:2 aspect ratio, and a vast selection of Leica filters. In M9 mode, you get cool, high-contrast bluish photos with white balance locked, while M3 produces a black and white image. In portrait mode, there's a large selection of presets that simulate the characteristics of Leica lenses. I'll tell you how useful all of this actually is a little later. Now let's move on to the cameras. The Leica version doesn't differ from the standard 17 Ultra in terms of its specifications. The front-facing camera features 50 megapixels, an aperture of f2.2, and autofocus. The main camera system includes an ultra-wide lens with 50 megapixels, a primary camera with the same 50 megapixels and a 1-inch sensor, and a unique telephoto lens with 200 megapixels, a variable optical zoom from 75 to 100 millimeters, and a variable aperture of f2.4 and f3.0. And this isn't just about two focal lengths. It actually features a movable lens system that provides a continuous optical zoom from 3.2x to 4.3x. This is a unique solution that no competitor offers. The only similar device I can think of is the Huawei P80 Ultra, which I also reviewed. The link will be in the description. Huawei included two optical zoom levels in one telephoto lens, but it lacked continuous optical zoom. And Xiaomi has another feature. The main camera incorporates low-fic technology. It helps to better reveal bright areas of the frame, such as the sky, signs, and streetlights, so they don't turn into white spots, while ensuring that the shadows remain visible. This isn't a unique technology. It's also used in the main camera of the P80 Ultra, for example. Well, it all sounds great on paper, but what does it look like in practice? Let's start with portraits. In this mode, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra generally performs well, but in complex scenes with fine details like hair, it occasionally makes mistakes near the blur boundary, which is within the normal range for digital blur. However, at certain focal lengths, it produces an effect that looks more like an actual optical blur, and the background can become more blurred than you might expect from a smartphone. This adds depth to the image, which is definitely a plus. In our signature spoon fort test, the Xiaomi performed well and only made a mistake at the first zoom level, where it blurred the spoon. At higher zoom levels, the smartphone performed almost perfectly. When it comes to portraits with a blurred background, this phone generally delivers very good results. The skin and facial details look natural, even at high zoom levels, without excessive processing. My favorite phone, a Vivo, for example, often tends to overly smooth the skin and artificially enhance details, but I didn't notice that problem with this Xiaomi. In terms of zoom, the phone is capable of producing impressive results, with a maximum digital zoom of 120x. At higher digital zoom levels, it actively reduces noise and enhances details to maintain clarity. This is a perfectly reasonable solution for a smartphone camera, considering its small sensor. All modern flagship phones produce zoomed-in photos using computational techniques, and if they don't, you end up with noise and blur, like you might see on an iPhone. So, right now, there's a battle of algorithms happening in the market. The question is, who will create the most accurate and realistic image enhancement? The Xiaomi 17 Ultra doesn't always handle this well. In photo zoom tests, the Xiaomi often misses the mark with image processing, resulting in blur and distortions in the letters. However, it's still possible to get readable results even with maximum zoom. The macro photography is also implemented at a good level. This smartphone can shoot macro photos using both the ultra-wide and telephoto lenses. And that's convenient. You can shoot objects from a close distance, but if it's not comfortable, you can do it from a distance. However, I would advise using the super macro mode sparingly, if at all. That way, you won't be limited by the lenses, and you won't have any focusing problems. I'd also like to mention the long exposure feature. There's a dedicated mode with preset options. What's nice is that the smartphone itself recommends using a tripod in this mode. With a long exposure, the Xiaomi can produce impressive shots with light trails and a beautiful night sky. Also, the Xiaomi managed to capture excellent shots with star trails. This mode is functional and delivers truly great and impressive photos. When it comes to the camera's weaknesses, I would definitely include the selfie camera. The front-facing camera performs poorly in challenging scenes, especially in low-light conditions, producing noisy images. Additionally, there's often noticeable smoothing of skin details. Portrait selfies are lacking in detail and quality. Typical smartphone issues like blurring appear periodically. In some shots, it's noticeable that the phone struggles to perfectly separate the background, especially when it contains fine details. And sometimes, small, unblurred areas remain. Another thing to note is that when taking selfies, the Xiaomi sometimes introduces a yellowish tint to the skin tone. The raw photos also turned out to be underwhelming. In our tests, under complex lighting conditions during the day, the Xiaomi performed well only with the main camera. Here, the telephoto lens caused overexposure in bright areas, and we couldn't fix it during post-processing. In low-light conditions, complex scenes also presented challenges in bringing out certain details, such as bright signs. What else raises concerns? It's all these unique modes from Leica. My personal experience and testing suggests that this is more for marketing than for actual benefit. The color presets are simply filters that don't resemble what a real Leica camera delivers. Recently, we demonstrated in practice how closely the Leica Standard Mode, Black and White Photo Mode, and other filters come to the image quality of the Leica Q343 camera. Spoiler alert, the smartphone doesn't produce anything remotely similar to the photos from the camera, but if you haven't seen that review, you'll find the link in the description and as a hint in the corner of the screen. Now, let's move on to video recording. The main strength of the Xiaomi 13 Ultra Leica Edition in video recording is its 8K capability. It's not just a feature for show. 8K actually works on all lenses, unlike many competitors where you simply get a cropped image from the main camera. What's the point of high-quality 8K? It's simple. This resolution provides headroom for editing in 4K or Full HD, allowing you to crop the image or stabilize it in post-production without losing quality. The video zoom on the Xiaomi is also impressive. It's powerful and has a long reach. The maximum zoom level here is 30x, and even with significant zoom, you can actually make out distant objects or text. Another plus is the slow-mo feature. It offers slow-motion recording up to 1920 frames per second. Many competitors simply don't have this option. The resulting slow-motion footage looks very impressive. Also, I would consider the performance of the blurring algorithms during portrait shooting to be a positive aspect. Xiaomi performs very well, even with hair. And in our tests, it handled my bangs better than its competitors. The Dolby Vision HDR recording works quite well here. The dynamic range is truly wide, and even in a challenging scene with backlighting, we get a very good result for a smartphone. A logarithmic profile is also available, and it's easy to color grade in post-production, allowing you to bring out details in both the shadows and highlights without much difficulty. According to our tests, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra performs just as well as the iPhone 17 Pro Max in these modes. Now, what about the drawbacks? First of all, surprisingly, many modes on this Ultra flagship in 2026 are limited to Full HD resolution. Some features are completely missing. For example, there's no dual video mode at all. Yes, friends, you wrote to me in the comments that even the Xiaomi 15 Ultra and older models have this feature. There is no such mode here, at least not yet. I checked all the settings, and it's not available in the interface. Portrait video is only recorded in Full HD, and this applies to both the front-facing camera and even the main camera. Furthermore, when using the main camera, you can only record at a frame rate of 24 frames per second. Even in slow-mo mode, recording is limited to Full HD at a maximum of 120 frames per second. The smartphone itself is quite powerful. It can already record video in 8K on all lenses, so these limitations seem very strange. The front-facing camera on the Xiaomi isn't the strongest, as I mentioned earlier in the photo review, so don't expect miracles in video recording either. During the day, the image quality is generally decent, but sometimes there are noticeable jitters and frame shake when recording moving subjects. At night, these issues are exacerbated. Also, in low-light conditions, we noticed flickering in the Xiaomi's footage, which was not present in its competitors' recordings. So, if a stable and smooth image on the front-facing camera is important to you, then Xiaomi simply won't be able to offer that. The stabilization also raises some questions. Even in the enhanced stabilization mode, blur and a loss of detail can still appear with complex movements. When tilted, it's noticeable that the Xiaomi's horizon stabilization is unreliable and often drifts. The stabilization also performs poorly in slow motion. If you record slow-motion video while moving, the image starts to shake significantly. Despite my praise of the 8K mode, there's one issue. When zooming, an unpleasant artifact appears. The image starts to become distorted. It looks like heat haze rising from hot asphalt. However, this isn't hot air in the frame, but rather the stabilization and processing working at their limits, causing fine details to tremble and appear less stable. Another drawback is the smoothness of the video zoom. When switching zoom levels, you can see noticeable jumps in the image and changes in color reproduction. Therefore, smooth zooming isn't possible here. Okay friends, let's wrap things up. Is this smartphone worth buying? And by the way, how much does it cost now? I have the Chinese version of the Xiaomi with 512 gigabytes. When I bought it, it cost me 1,247 euros. And what about the current prices? Now, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra with 512 gigabytes can be purchased for a price starting from 857 euros. And the Leica Edition still costs at least 1,247 euros at the time of recording. Would I buy this Xiaomi in the Leica version now? And my answer is no. The price difference compared to regular Xiaomi phones is significant, and the smartphone doesn't offer any truly useful features. The rotating bezel is a nice touch, but it's just a gimmick and nothing more. The color profiles from Leica are essentially just a set of filters that don't really reflect the actual color reproduction of a Leica camera. The package includes more accessories, a lens cap, a strap, and a case. But is this extra cost worth it? In my opinion, no. Only if you want to spoil yourself or stand out from the crowd. What do you think about this new Xiaomi device, friends? Write your thoughts in the comments. That's all for now. Please subscribe to our channel, like the video, and hit the notification bell. And bye-bye, everyone.